This episode is brought to you by Suzy, a cutting-edge market research software platform that empowers some of the biggest companies in the world, like Citibank and Procter & Gamble. To find out more about how Suzy can help you stay competitive, go to tearsheet.co/Suzy. Welcome to the Tearsheet Podcast, where we explore financial services together with an eye on technology, innovation, emerging models, and changing expectations. I'm Tearsheet Editor-in-Chief Zach Miller. Joining me on this episode today of the Tearsheet Podcast is Vikram Anreddy, Head of Product Financial Services at Shopify. It's a company that we've covered quite a bit at Tearsheet. He's a general manager with over a decade of experience across product management, strategy, and go-to-market. Track record of building 0 to 1 products. We'll talk about that and growing them into over $1 billion type products. He leads large cross-functional R&D organization and works well partnering with sales and marketing organizations as well. Previously at Instagram, Meta, Intercom, and McKinsey, sort of like, I don't know, some of the 4 best, I know Instagram and Meta are together, but some of the best brands in the space, and obviously now in financial services at Shopify. So Vikram, welcome to the Tearsheet Podcast. Great to talk to you.
Zach, thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to be here.
What were your reactions as I read a little bit about your background? Because I know that makes people uncomfortable, but I think it's where it's uncomfortable, we'll say something very specific about you.
I have collected a few brands on my resume, didn't I? But I think the thing that I have really enjoyed doing for the last, I've had a very random walk of a career, Zach. Let me admit that. But for the last nearly a decade, I've been building products especially for small businesses and entrepreneurs and creators. And that's been really, really something that I've enjoyed doing. These are individuals who are trying to reach for financial independence through turning a passion or a hobby into a business. And it really feels good to build for this segment of entrepreneurs and be on their team.
And what feels good about building for them? Is it because of their excitement about their own businesses, because of their excitement of life? I mean, is there something specific about these people, maybe about their needs?
I think, entrepreneurship is such a tough game.
Yeah.
There's so much friction in entrepreneurship. First of all, the odds of success are very low, right? And I think that anything that you can do to break down that friction, simplify the life of entrepreneurs, give them that extra shot at business growth or success, is, even if we can marginally improve that probability of success, I think it is something that is great for the humans involved, but also something that is great for the economy and the community that we all live in some ways. So I think that's what makes me feel great about it. The other thing that is interesting is usually these are humans that are extremely driven, extremely hungry to learn, extremely curious, which also makes it in some ways easier to build product because they're eager and hungry to actually adopt new things and test new things, because they are hustling to figure out how to get to that first sale, how to optimize their business, and so on. So I think it's a great audience to build for, frankly.
I love it. I can definitely sense your passion for building for this audience. So let's talk exactly that. What does Shopify Finance provide for small businesses to help them manage their businesses and make their lives better?
Yeah, let me step back a little bit, Zach, and tell you a little bit about Shopify for your audience, and then I'll frame the conversation of Shopify Finance within that. Shopify is a global commerce platform. Millions of entrepreneurs are building their commerce businesses, their stores on the Shopify platform right now. In our history, we have driven more than $1 trillion in sales for our merchants and entrepreneurs. 10% of US GMV flows through Shopify.
That's a wild number. I've seen that number before.
Yeah. 10% of US e-commerce GMV flows through Shopify. It's available in 175 countries. So this is a very global scaled commerce platform. Now, we are helping merchants make money on Shopify. I said the $1 trillion in our lifetime. right? What we are doing with Shopify Finance is to build a set of tools to help our merchants manage their money where they already make it within the Shopify admin and experience. And the reason we are trying to build these tools is because we constantly hear from our merchants that they're being underserved by traditional banks. A lot of our merchants can't get access to credit. Even opening business bank accounts is hard for individual entrepreneurs. Even if they have access, the friction is amazingly high. Lots of paperwork, lots of like you have to give up personal credit history and impact your personal credit, personal guarantees, give up equity in some cases, lots of friction. And finally, a lot of our banks are not built to support, the products are not built to support e-commerce merchants, right? And these are the reasons why we built Shopify Finance. Shopify Finance brings a suite of tools into one single surface within the Shopify admin and Shopify mobile app. These tools range from like business bank account, or a place where you can store your money, save your money, earn APY, to credit cards, to capital loans, to bill pay, to sales tax management. We built a suite of tools to help our merchants manage money, and we've seamlessly have integrated this experience into the overall Shopify experience on the Shopify admin and the Shopify mobile app, where merchants are running their business every day. So that is what is Shopify Finance.
That makes a lot of sense to me. And so I think it sounds like you have a good open channel with your merchants, hearing from them what they need and what can help power their business. How did you determine when you went around Shopify Finance where to begin and what products to roll out? Like where does Shopify Finance start and where does it end?
It's been a long journey, Zach. Like the one thing that I think we do pretty well at Shopify is constantly talking to merchants and constantly understanding the sources of friction. And we are in this relentless pursuit of breaking down friction and barriers to entrepreneurship. That is what we do. That's in the DNA of Shopify in some ways. And it's no different when it comes to money, because managing money is a big friction point for our merchants. And we started this journey a long time ago in terms of building products to manage money. I mean, I think one of the earliest products was Shopify Payments, to help merchants collect payments online in this in like the early 2000s, which was much harder than it is now, right? In 2016, we launched Shopify Capital, which is our loans product. It's like an MCA loans product. Again, it was very clear to us back then that one of the things that our merchants struggle with is raising capital, working capital.
Right.
And that is something that we really wanted to help them with, because we are seeing in the admin, in our Shopify data, that these merchants are getting lots of orders. They are seeing traction. They're seeing visits to the store, but they have running out of stock and inventory because they have no cash to go buy that inventory. Because all of merchants are product businesses. They have to spend money, buy product.
In which case they have cash flow issues. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think we started with the capital loan product, which has been a hit. I mean, really, we've given out more than $5 billion in funding. It's really become the rocket fuel for a lot of our merchants. Then in 2020, we launched the Balance product, which is our answer to business banking. Again, one of the core reasons we built this is we heard from merchants about their frustration around their payouts taking very long, right, up to 5-6 business days. And again, when you're cash flow constrained, every day counts. They're making money, but their money is not reaching them in time. They complain to us about not getting good terms and so on, right? We launched credit card. Again, we saw the demand and the need that a lot of our merchants like to spend with credit cards, but they end up spending with personal credit cards because they can't access business credit cards. We launched the sales tax tool a while ago. Again, sales tax is an enigma, and it's insanely complex, right? Because especially for a small entrepreneur, it's really hard to figure out and keep up with the rules of 11,000 different jurisdictions in the US that set sales tax rules, and these rules are constantly changing. So it's nearly impossible for a small business to keep track of all of this. So again, we said this is a huge friction point. We want to reduce the headache and the complexity here for our entrepreneurs, and we've built really automated ways of enabling sales tax management for our merchants. We've helped merchants understand when they should start collecting sales tax. They can turn that on and say, hey, I want to collect sales tax. And then we automate all the calculations in real time so that for every single order, they are collecting the right amount based on the products. Because sales tax rules apply at a product level, not necessarily at a business level.
Nice.
So collect the right amount. And then we also have enabled some interesting and features in our product set to say, you can actually keep that money aside in a balance account automatically so that that money is there when you want to remit. Again, this is a choice that merchants can take. So I think this has been a constant journey. I mean, this is a very many years long journey, and we've always listened to our merchants. And I think the one thing that we have is a deep sense of empathy and understanding of our merchants' businesses through the data we see and the conversations that we have with our merchants, so that we can really build products that are tailored to them. Right.
The financial industry depends on data, but not all data is created equal. Choosing partners who can separate fleeting trends from groundbreaking innovations is more crucial than ever. If you want to unearth what forces are shaping the industry right now, download our guide at tearsheet.co/Suzy. So I'm really glad you mentioned the data piece as well, because the more and more merchants use Shopify finance products, the more data smog, more, data wake that they'll leave, right? And so I know that you do provide some of that data back in the form of analytics back to merchants, because you guys see that stuff as well. What are you doing there, and how is that helping your merchants make better business decisions or sell more?
Yeah, we are going to invest more and more in this area on providing insights to merchants to help them optimize their business. But let me give you a simple, like with Shopify Finance, we have merchants can see the real-time insights about their payouts, about their sales, about cash, and so on, right? Let me give you a powerful example of how we think this gets integrated into their commerce workflows to help them make decisions, good decisions. So merchants are on Shopify fulfilling orders every day. Right? They come to the Shopify admin, they have to fulfill orders. And when they fulfill orders, they may see that the inventory on one of their products, a popular product, is running low. And now they can quickly check what is their cash position and say, if my cash position is low, maybe I will apply for a capital loan, get that money in my bank account within 2 days. So have that confidence to go then place a purchase order. So this whole workflow becomes a lot more seamless and integrated. And our hope is that this will help merchants make quick and good decisions, right? And over time, we envision helping merchants optimize their spend. For example, hey, you may want to spend a little more on your ads because your ad performance seems to be very good, and merchants like you get a lot more from ads, right? You should experiment. Or we can say, hey, you seem to have your inventory cycles are too long. You may not want to buy so much inventory all at once. Let's phase it out, right? These are the kind of things that we hope we can actually build in, again, with our unique insight of not just money, but also unique insights around the commerce store and their business.
That makes a lot of sense. I want to go back to something you said before, Vikram, about the balance product. I know there's like a reward system at work there, and I'm kind of curious, A, what that is, and B, how that benefits business owners.
So our balance product, Zach, is as simple as we say it's better than a business bank account. What it does is very simple. It's deeply integrated into Shopify payments. So that means our merchants can get much faster payouts. Like when they sell, that money is in their bank account. Our Plus merchants can get it guaranteed next business day or even same business day at times, right? So that's number one. They get fast payouts. The second is every single dollar in the balance account will earn APY rewards. Our Plus merchants will get 4.43% APY. The merchant doesn't have to separate their money, put it in a savings envelope, or do any of this thing. Every single dollar, wherever it exists in the balance account, will earn the high APY, right? The third thing is balance comes with a prepaid card. It's like, think of it as a parallel to a debit card. But we give you rewards when you spend your own money using that card. Again, not something that a business bank account does anywhere else.
Sure.
The final thing I want to say is the things that we do around rewards are very automatic. We don't make merchants jump through a bunch of hoops to get access and redeem those rewards. These are all cashback rewards, and the cash is put back in the account as soon as the rewards are unlocked. The merchant has to do nothing, right? It's very automatic. And this is one of the core themes that you will see all through. We really care about making things transparent to merchants and automatic as much as possible. While merchants still retain control over various things, but as much as possible, make it merchant friendly and automatic.
One of the things that it's impressed upon me as you're describing all this, Vikram, is like how each one of these products, as it is automatic and it is merchant friendly, it also helps to, it's a flywheel, right? It means money, yes. There's more money and it stays longer within the Shopify ecosystem, right?
Absolutely. And it is, flywheel is probably the most overused term in my product world, but that is
so
exactly the word.
It's seamless. It's a seamless flywheel. Yeah.
It's a seamless flywheel. And in fact, I think the flywheel actually helps us stretch the cash flows of our merchant. This flywheel helps us make merchants' money go further. This flywheel helps us insert credit when the merchant needs it. So I think this flywheel that we are trying to create within the Shopify ecosystem between commerce and money, I think it can be really, really powerful for our merchants.
Sure.
Right.
I also saw you doing stuff around extended payment terms when cash is king and cash flow is like super important. I know as a small business owner myself, I talk about that all the time on the show, but like, what are you doing in that field in terms of, around payment terms?
So I think you're referring to our credit card product, Zach, which is a new feature where we announced. So so we have a credit card product in the market, again, built specifically for our merchants, commerce merchants.
And this is distinguished from the other card, which works more as a payments card or a debit card.
That's right. They're a prepaid card tied to balance. But we also have a credit card, which comes with float, right? You can actually use the card for free, spend on various expenses, earn up to 3% reward on things that you really spend on, like marketing, ads on Meta, Google, and so on, fulfillment, shipping, and so on. You can pay back the card at the end of the month, right? If you have the cash, pay back at the end of the month, and you can use the card for free, right? And earn rewards. But at the end of the month, if you don't have the cash to pay back the card, and again, e-commerce merchants face a lot of vagaries around cash flow, and this happens all the time, then we create the flexibility for you to choose to pay that statement back over 10 months. And the way you can pay that back is as a percentage of your daily sales. Again, it's automated.
That's what it turns into MCA, right?
It turns into something like an MCA. And as you pay it off, the credit limits opens up and you can keep spending. Right. And I think this is the kind of a very innovative thing that we built. There's no card like this in the market. And this really works for our merchants because, by the way, this has been inspired by what we have done with our capital loans MCA product that we've had in market for the last, since 2016, a while ago. So that is exactly what, at every moment, right? One of the things that I tell my team is find creative ways to stretch merchants' cash flows. This is what we are trying to do in every product that we've built.
Yeah, it really sounds like trying to do well by doing right by your customers. That also an overused expression, if we're going to throw this out there.
And I want to emphasize, that's a great point, right? And I want to emphasize this thing. This is also good for Shopify's business.
Sure. Because
one of the powerful things about doing this within Shopify is that flywheel that you talked about, Zach, right? Because see, if we can do the right things with our financial services products, stretch merchants' cash flows and help them have access to the cash when they need it, right? We are helping them grow. And that growth is going to happen on the Shopify platform.
Shopify, exactly.
And we benefit from that growth. So this is like the most symbiotic and synergistic relationship that we can have with our customers, which also means that we can make very different economic choices around the first order impact of our financial services products. right? Because we have to think about the overall impact of our financial services product, not just the first order revenue, profitability impact of our products. And frankly, no bank or a fintech can match us in terms of making these decisions in a merchant-friendly way because of this.
So I know you describe them as products on this podcast, but in a way, they're sort of like features of the platform, right? Because that's really what you're describing to me. And I'm kind of curious if you have data or you talk about publicly merchants that use multiple of these features of these products. I have to imagine they do work side by side in parallel. They don't necessarily contradict one another. And having all those at your end make you a very powerful merchant if you just started selling.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I said, millions of merchants use Shopify, and and lots of them actually use more than one of our financial services.
Is that a metric that you guys track internally?
We do. Like uptake, we do track internally. Internally, and we also track, how merchants are using multiple financial services products, for example. And one of the things that and actually, your framing is very good. All of these are, in some ways, features of a very large platform. And that platform is the commerce platform, right? And these money features are just part of that commerce platform because, in some ways, money is the lifeblood of a commerce business. And these tools to optimize your money are kind of built into those workflows, into this platform. The one thing that we try to do at all times is we want these products to not feel separate from the rest of the platform. When we build these, we try to build these deeply integrated and embedded within the overall commerce and merchant experience. And I believe that is when we create magic for our merchants, when we really tie some of these things together, right? The great example I often mention is the sales tax. I alluded to this earlier in the conversation. With sales tax, we help merchants automatically save their sales tax money into a separate balance account if they really want to do that. And it's automated. They collect sales tax from each order and that money goes into this account. That money continues to earn APY for you. But when it's time for filing, that money is there so that you can remit. So again, this is the kind of, when we integrate deeply, these are the small moments of magic that we can create for our merchants. And again, it reduces the headache and the time that you need to take to manage your money, right?
So Vikram, you started out our conversation saying this has been a long story that's unfolding. I'm kind of curious if we can look like forward a little bit. I do recognize you're a public company and you're not going to make forward-leading statements, but I'm just curious, like where you see Shopify Financial moving in the future. Like, where are you taking this?
I think so. First, this is one of the areas where we're really excited to continue investing and bring more value to our merchants, right? And we are guided by two simple things, Zach, in terms of value proposition that we want to create. One is stretch those cash flows for our merchants. Help them have access to more and more cash that they need, right, when they need it. The second is help them save the time and headache of managing money, managing all things related to money, because then entrepreneurs can focus on what they do best, build the best products and services for their customers and tell that story so they can get more customers. So these are guiding value principles that drive all our investment. And I think we will do more in building out these features or products and integrating them with each other and deeply with Shopify platform. I think there's more to do. We will bring, as we do those integrations, we'll bring more insights to light to our merchants to optimize that spend. As part of that, I think AI will play a big role, and like financial advice and financial assistants and things like that. I think there's an very interesting opportunity there in terms of insights and guidance. The third area is, again, a lot of our products right now are US centric because that's where we've started this journey on financial services. We will, and our aim is always to take our products and features and make them more available across as many markets as possible, because we operate in 175 markets, as I mentioned, countries. So there is a journey there in terms of bringing them to more merchants so that they can benefit from it. We are constantly expanding the tool set as well. I don't know I can't say exactly which tool we will build next or which feature we will build next. But again, we're constantly talking to our merchants and saying, hey, what is that next friction point? And how can we actually play a role in solving that friction point? Or is there an ecosystem of partners? Because we also have an app store, for what it's worth, where we can encourage partners to come build apps for Shopify merchants so that our merchants have access to that. So again, we are in this is an area of huge investment for us. We will continue to build value for our merchants so that money is not really a barrier for business success, and it's not a constraint in some ways.
Vikram, it's amazing how fast these interviews go, but I've had a fantastic time talking about Shopify Finance with you. Thanks for joining us on the Tearsheet podcast today.
Likewise, Zach. Thank you for having me.